What's up, fam? Welcome back to Off the Reservation, a show that's all about exploring the Indigi-verse. I'm your number one wizard, Mal.
I'm El.
And I'm the son of Picasso.
We got a show in store for you today.
I know. Coming at you like Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But first, hey, how was you guys' week?
It was good.
Yeah.
You know?
Not bad.
I've been battling allergies, and today was like super windy too.
It was bad.
In New Mexico, it was like, ooh. It's like you just, all of those allergens just flying around, man.
It's crazy.
I always feel bad like when people ask me how my week was. I'm like, I'm an artist. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, it was the best week ever. I painted all week. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, yeah, you have a job that you enjoy.
Yeah. So like,
everybody's like, ugh, my week was there. You're like, mine wasn't so bad.
It's like the Seinfeld moment. It's like stressful. I just want to like, oh man, it's just, you don't even know.
See, that's the misconception I feel like I have is like I look at you and I'm like, oh yeah, you get to like work at home, you get to like produce your art, you just get to wallow in your art all day long. And I was like, but I have to go and I work. Yeah, I have to go work at some like office, have angry people yell at me over the phone, have to hit deadlines and get stuff done. Yeah. And I'm just like a ball of it.
Tell me this, right? So yeah, you and I both work like a regular job if we're some company or whatever, Faceless. You are your own employer, right? Yeah. Obviously, as an artist, you are. But like, do you ever just get tired of like?
Man.
Do you ever miss it?
Like, well, no. I'm saying like for us, like we can like if you have a bad day or something's not going right, we can disconnect for the most part. Come home and it's separate,
Yeah.
But for you, like it's intertwined with your life, right? I mean,
like it's like eat, sleep, and breathe.
Yeah,
and like especially at this stage too. Like I have fashion and fine art going.
Yeah,
I have 2 major galleries that carry my work that constantly want new stuff.
Yeah,
which I'm not complaining, but it's a lot, and like
it can be a lot. Yeah,
and then on top of that too, like my team got bigger. My wife quit her 9 to 5, and she's on, and like it's crazy. Like she's like the master screen printer. Like she like discovered her talent for like design.
Yeah,
and like she always had it, right? Because like just me being an artist, I would have to ask her like, hey, does this look centered? Does this need more? Blah blah blah. And so over the course of like, I don't know, we've been together like 15 years now. She's like, the creativeness is like rubbed off on her.
She's gotten to like fine tune her creativeness.
Oh yeah,
now.
and like she gets my style. She gets like what I want, and so she's like, she's just that good sounding board. So.
Yeah.
So you're living the 50 Cent lifestyle, the live free or die trying.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Like I only say that. I only say that because sometimes I'll be working. I mean, I've told you guys this before. Like, I'll work on a project and I just get burned out.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what it's like having to do that 24/7. But I mean, you also see the fruits of your labor, and it's like you get to see.
I think that's why I had to do both, though. To be honest with you, because like painting is one of those things where I felt like I had to complete the painting as soon as it was done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that need to sit there for 15, 16 hours a day. And all of a sudden I was like, man, like this painting took me on a journey and I don't even remember half of it, you know? And I was like, I felt like I was doing it a disservice. I wanted to slow down my work production and really get to live in that moment, so to say. Like
real Bob Ross on it.
No, like all like Buddha Zen, you know what I mean? Just like, just be one with it, live with it. And, it's been a lot. It's been a really good experience, I'd say, in the last 5 years. But it's
nice.
I have to say it's been a lot more stressful. I got a lot more gray hairs, and
yeah, that's never easy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, along that lines, we've actually got a really awesome 3 guests today.
Yes.
We've got
four.
Was it 4?
Yes,
I can't count.
It's 4.
I'm so sorry. We've got 4 guests that make up the team of Indigenous creatives. And so we've got an awesome interview coming up with them. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll be right back with Indigenous creatives.
Right at you, Jobin.
So we're really excited today, everybody. We've got some great guests on today. We have the team of Indigenous Creatives on with us today, and they run a business. If you guys have ever seen it, I'm sure you have. You've seen them on Instagram. They've got a great page, producing a lot of great content with Indigenous artists and creatives, obviously. Okay. So, yeah, if you guys, please, if you would all just give us an introduction of who you are and, you know, quick introduction and the part you play in the business, that would be great to know.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go first. I'll break the ice.
All right. There you go.
My name is Imani Mitchell from the Lapway Nez Perce Reservation in Lapway, Idaho. I'm the project coordinator for Indigenous Creatives.
Awesome.
Right. Awesome. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, who's next?
I guess it's us. My name is Pox Young. I'm also from the Nez Perce Reservation, and I'm the photographer and videographer.
All right, nice. Yeah.
And I'm Chelsea Quemps. I'm from the Umatilla Indian Reservation in Pendleton, Oregon, but I live here in Lapway, and I'm the team marketer. So I'm basically connecting with the artists and interviewing them, kind of getting that content out there.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. And my name is Michaela Thompson. I'm the owner of Indigenous Creatives. We're all Nimi Poo from, Lapway, Idaho. So I had a dollar and a dream, and I had this amazing team that really wanted to help me out and get the movement going. So I'm very grateful for them. I live in Alexandria, Virginia, but I go back and forth between there and my res. So it's been an awesome experience so far. We're brand new, so I'm very excited to see the direction we're heading in. We got a lot more kind of coming up. So that's kind of us, and that's our team.
Awesome. Well, hey, like I said, it's great to have you all here with us today. Well, I guess one of our first questions is could you tell us a little bit about how you guys got started and maybe your mission with your whole business here?
Yeah, so I actually got it established last year, but I wanted to take my time with it. Just as any entrepreneur, it's very easy to get sucked in and throw all your money into something, and then you're just trying to keep up. So I was like, well, I kind of want to tread on water and tread lightly with this business because, there is so much opportunity involved with what I want to do. And so I kind of decided to kind of lay that out and really just start this year. This year was the year I kind of went, all 10 toes down and decided to kind of really just take it somewhere and just start. And so one of the first things we did was go to Santa Fe Indian Market. And that's when I was like, hey, Chelsea, I know you're new at marketing and, but let's try it. And so brought her, and I've been working with Pox for years now. And so I was really excited to bring him on the team as well. So, as the main purpose is just to get, be that plug for Native creatives and spotlight creatives in every form, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's artists, whether it's chefs, and really just kind of be that plug. And so that was kind of our start. And so from there, we are now coordinating more events, hoping to get into more reservations and more, Native communities. But the whole purpose really is just to be able to, I feel like, you shouldn't have to leave your community for a better one. And we understand that, there's more resources elsewhere. So what we want to do is bring those resources into our own communities.
Oh, okay.
And when it's our own people, it's even better. And so that kind of gives the next generation people, role models and people to look up to. So we've been working really hard as a team just to kind of fulfill that mission. And, we learn new things every day. And just for the upcoming year, we have more events coming up. But yeah, so really just the whole start of it. I just me as an artist, I have another business, beadwork business called Beadwork by Michaela. So I do that full time as well. And it's hard to, take that leap into being, doing things on your own and taking those risks to be your own business. Yeah. And I just found out like when I've interviewed for corporate positions and I didn't like the feeling I had. And I was like, I don't want other artists to have this feeling as though, they have to rely on other people to, just meet their basic needs. And so that's why we started Indigenous Creatives. And yeah, so this year was our kind of first year of getting our feet wet. So, awesome. So it's been good so far.
Yeah, you mentioned something there that I think resonates with quite a few Indigenous peoples, because as artists, it's basically you're starting a business, you know, and there's always that leap when you start a business that you got to take the leap. You got to, you know, like you said, you know, you decided we're finally going to go for it. I'm going to, you know, put the money on the table. I'm going to take a chance on myself, you know, and that's always scary, you know? So it's awesome that you guys have a, you know, that your company, your business is here to help with that, you know, that people can actually promote themselves, you know, be able to promote themselves a little easier, you know, because it's scary, like putting yourself out there and not sure if you're gonna get the reception that you want or you're gonna reach enough people, you know, to really make that difference. So
well,
that's awesome.
And I think like that's the cool thing about you guys' message is the fact that, like, me personally, I have a corporate job that I go to every day, you know, on the weekday, and I haven't gotten to the point where, like, doing art, doing this, I mean, let's face it, like, we do, like, personally, I do like 4 or 5 different jobs, not all the time, but having like a support system like you guys is out there to provide that support for those of us who are pushing for to be able to just rely on only having to do one thing to get out there. That's really cool.
Yeah, and that's really the whole goal. Like, we want to be able to pay creatives for what they do at their price, so that way they can continue to do it and, you know, start a living with it, because it's not easy at all. And that with everything we do, we want to make sure that they're being compensated for, and that, you know, we're giving them resources as well, and making sure they're networking and really just kind of help with that. But then also we like to give back to our community at the same time, to where, you know, we are bringing in events to help with awareness, or, you know, we are helping our community in some sort of way, or giving back to grassroots organizations as well. So we like to really make sure that the opportunity is there and we can get it there.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the events that you put on?
Yeah. So, so far we've done 2. We've done, I've always hosted a Juneteenth celebration on our res, but this year is when I decided to kind of hand it over to the company. And so we did that this year, and to where we really just tie in a lot of Black natives to be the performers or the special guests of the event. And it really gives a voice for Black natives, and being one myself and Imani as well. It's like, that's not an easy plight sometimes. And so being able to have people, especially, you know, I think of the kids, to look up to someone who looks like them in their own community is extremely, extremely important. So that's what we do with Juneteenth. And then we just recently hosted a sip and paint. And that was really fun. We basically got a Native artist within our community to lay out the design, and then we just came out and had a good time and did their design. So those were just kind of us getting our feet wet. And my team's brand new. Like, we just kind of started, you know, working together these past couple of months. So that's new as well, and it's been really great. And so next year we're lining up all of our events for next year. So we don't want to reveal too much about that just yet, but we have
no, absolutely. That's exciting. So tell me something. Like, Imani, like, let me ask you, what does it mean for you to, you know, work for this, you know, for this company, for this business? You know, is there something, you know, I'm assuming all of you have a reason, you know, why, a passion for what you're doing here. You know, it's not easy jumping into a new business, you know, so when you do, usually there's something that's like pulling you towards it. So can you all explain to me, maybe for each of you individually, what it is about this mission that resonates with you?
Yeah, I can go first here. So for me, I left my hometown, the reservation, about 6 years ago now. I moved to Arizona, went to college, graduated, and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. But leaving home was, you know, being from a reservation, leaving home is a kind of a big deal. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to do so. So, and when people do get the opportunity, it's always, you know, go learn, come bring whatever you learn back to the reservation, and let's improve from within that way. So with the opportunity with a Native-owned business being, you know, from my reservation, it just seemed like the perfect opportunity for me to kind of contribute while also being on my personal journey out here.
Yeah.
being a young adult, figuring things out that way.
You bring up a good point, because I think it's really hard for a lot of young Native Americans to feel okay leaving their communities to like pursue school or something, I know, at least for me around here, for family around here, a lot of people I work with, on the pueblos out here in New Mexico, they have a hard time, being okay with leaving the community.
I mean, there's even like natives that I've worked with and that live in the pueblo, and they still live on the pueblo and still drive into the middle of Albuquerque, the commute, and that that's not an easy commute. That's like a.
And obviously we all have ties and convictions, that we, there's reasons why we want to stay with our families and because it's our community, it's our people.
Of course.
But honestly, I think it's a big opportunity for young people to be able to get out, to experience, life outside of the culture, and be able to maybe bring something back, like the education.
Yeah, I totally commend you on your bravery of leaving your family, because I mean, like, this is my brother here and this is my other brother, and we all live in Albuquerque, and that's how I ended up getting this all together. Just being like, hey, your guys are family, let's all get together and put some
and record it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, who's next? Chelsea, do you want to go?
Yeah. I just think it's really cool, because this is something, like, growing up, I've seen, like, in my own community, that we needed someone to, like, amplify art more, because, like, mostly it's about sports and mostly it's about basketball.
Yeah.
And I was super into basketball, but I was also, like, an artist myself, and I didn't have, like, that type of outlet unless it had something to do with beading or, like, basket making. But there is nothing like painting or even, like, the thought of going to school for that. And so it's cool, because then I got in hold with Michaela, and she's out here doing her own business, and then now she's helping other people kind of get on that path with art and how important it is to chase that dream. So it was kind of like it aligned with what I thought was, like, important and what I want to be a part of. So it was really cool that now I get to be a part of that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think you can never, I don't know, you can't put a price tag on being a part of something that, like, is you just believe in. Yeah, there's a passion there for sure. So
it makes it easier. It makes it easier to, like, go to work and
when you enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, how about our photographer, videographer, man?
All right. Well, mine is probably just, being a new coming artist in my own way.
Yeah.
And then being a part of the team, being, like, kind of the first guy to, like, I don't know, be promoted, I guess, is just really cool to me, because me and Michaela have done a lot of work. But, being just part of the team is really great. And, I'm probably going to make that leap here soon, which is,
that's awesome.
The big leap everyone's talking about. I will make. I'm going to.
Yeah, man.
From, like, our team supporting and, like, and everyone supporting me. It's, like, really cool. But yeah,
speak it into existence.
Yeah, but yeah, can't ever deny Michaela when she has work. It's always cool to work with her.
I think that's, like, the exciting thing is that you're, able to, like, it's natives promoting natives, and
then you're also I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you're also teaching, other artists how to be successful. Like that, I think that's, like, what's missing in native arts. Everybody has the talent, but the business aspects is what's lacking, and it's cool to see a facilitator, pass that on to, the next generation, because, if that generation doesn't learn, then it's going to be just lost. And so, it's neat to see, and that's actually how I met you guys, was at Santa Fe Indian Market. So that's cool.
And honestly, like, for me, because I had done it, like, talked to what was it, the Navajo Nation news, one of their people in the field, and she was like, what, especially after coming after COVID and having, you know, that timeline where we couldn't like actually meet people in person, that we had that like severance of you know, face-to-face interaction. She asked me, you know, how is it like coming back? And you know, the thing that we learned from COVID was that the older generation needed just as much the younger generation now. Because I mean, for years, the younger generation has been learning from their elders, and now that we had that separation between each other, we had to the younger generation then therefore had to train and teach the older generation how to use this modern technology to get their art out. And I see that, you know, that's what you guys are doing, is taking, you know, older generations who may not know how to use Instagram or Facebook or, you know, social media in that way, but to be able to push them, it's really cool.
Yeah, and just being able to do that, I think, is great in itself. And there's so many outlets that I personally can't even keep up with when it comes to like TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. This goes on. And so I'm really grateful to have Chelsea in my corner and, you know, not banging out that content and getting that content. But yeah, that's one thing that we want to do. It's not only the younger generation, but it's the older generation as well. And being able to kind of give them that platform and encourage them to keep doing what they've been doing, because a lot of times, especially, you know, Native creatives in general, it's like a lot of the crafts that we do, or a lot of the things that we do, even if it is sports, for example, it's just like, you know, we don't necessarily think about doing it and going all in on doing it. And when we do it, let's say it's beadwork, painting, sculpture, whatever, it's like they don't, you know, we tend to undercharge ourselves, and you know, and that's something we want to kind of give them that boost of confidence and say, here, if you want to start your own business, here's your checklist, this is what you do, you know, and if you ever need any help, you can come to us as well. So that's really important for us. And then when it comes to like our team as well, it's like we want them to feel fulfilled to where, and this is this one thing I told them, and you know, even during their interview process, is, hey, you know, we want to be that plug for you as well, to where if you feel like you find an opportunity or you want to branch off, you know, that's great. You know, we want to be able to put you in those rooms and, you know, put you in those conversations. And so it's really just being that confidence booster and just saying, hey, we're here, you know, when you're ready to kind of, you know, like take that leap, what we were just talking about. But yeah. And so we hope to kind of be that motivator as well in all aspects.
Awesome. Cool. I think we'll be right back more with Indigenous Creatives, team behind Indigenous Creatives. All right.
Hey guys, it's Elle. Just wanted to say thanks for tuning into the show. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. And remember, do or do not, there is no try, okay? So just do it. It's that easy. All right, back to the show. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.
All right, well, hey, welcome back. We are with the team of Indigenous Creatives. We are talking a little bit about their business. One question I wanted to ask, because we mentioned it before, was that you all, well, I guess, who made the trip to Santa Fe Indian Market this year? Were you all of you there with the whole team there?
No, it's me, Chelsea, and Pox. Yeah, Chelsea, I had her be in charge of my social media. So okay. I threw them in there. I threw them into the fire because I hired them like the week before. And I was like, hey, as soon as we got there, I was like, all right, just go talk to people, get interviews, get pictures. And I'm like, it's going to feel really uncomfortable, but once you get through it, you'll be all right. Because I had it set up. I had my own booth. So like I couldn't really walk around the way I wanted to. Okay. I didn't even get to walk through the market. So I was like, Chelsea, Pox, go do it.
I should have paid Pop to wear my t-shirt. Like he bought a t-shirt from me and he was everywhere, like filming and taking pictures of everything. And like people were coming up and they were like, there was this handsome Native man and he had a camera and he was taking pictures and I have to have that shirt. Like, I mean, he sold that shirt for me that weekend.
Cool. So oh dang,
thank you.
I know that's my favorite shirt. I wear that like every chance I get. And everyone asks, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that shirt?
And it's pretty cool because it doesn't fade or nothing. And that's like something that he struggles with. He always ruins his clothes, but it's like still in really good condition. So he wears it every chance he can get.
Well, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about that experience for you all. Because was this your first time going to the Santa Fe Indian Market?
Yeah, it was both of our first times. And like, it was so awesome. Like we like made an oath that we're gonna go every year now.
Yeah,
because
oh,
of
wow.
how cool and big it was. Like we've never really seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and especially like the talent at what it was. Like I don't know what I was expecting, but it was crazy. Like everyone seemed like they were just like at their best, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Then we got to go to the trunk show. That was cool. That was super cool. Like meeting kind of people who are really out there, like
Yeah.
kind of like on top. It's kind of crazy too.
What's great
But,
about
yeah.
like Indian market is just like the sheer mass of people, like creatives, artists that are there, because it's not only just the actual Swaya event, you know, that they're throwing,
Yeah.
but there's like pop-up events happening all around. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it becomes this like giant conglomerate of just like any
Art
kind of
and
artist.
fashion
Yeah,
and
you
like
know?
Yeah.
And it's really it's an interesting experience. We always joke because like we call ourselves Off the Reservation podcast because we all grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're all three of us. We're part Navajo, we're part Kiowa, and part Taos Pueblo,
Delaware.
Like, yeah, so we've got like
really multi-tribal.
yeah, multi-tribal everywhere. But we didn't grow up like on a reservation or in a pueblo. Like we grew up in the city.
Most of our parents, like, they were either born on a military base or
Yeah.
like they were born overseas, to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. So
And
like
so
we're literally the first generation born off the reservation.
yeah, and well, so what's funny is like living in Albuquerque, we have a mixture of all kinds of people here, you know.
From Hispanic, Chicano culture.
Yep.
to-
Yeah.
You know, Anglo people, and then obviously natives. But it's interesting, right? You go into a Walmart here, it's just a mixture of that, you know.
Yeah.
And it was always funny because we always say like when you go to like when you're driving out and you stop in Gallup, New Mexico, like when you go into the Walmart, all you see is natives everywhere,
Natives.
and it's a weird feeling, you know, like oh hey, like we're not the only natives here. It's weird, and so that's like
It's like that ability to have anonymity.
you don't feel
everyone-
like a minority anymore, you know, like you're in the majority, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's
And
what,
that's a
like,
good feeling to have.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what Swaya, or I mean, that's what Indian market I think feels like, is when you're walking around, like you're with your people, man, and they're everywhere, and we're all, you know, like it's a great feeling. It's a great like I think it's a great event, you know.
event to
So
put together.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. You guys got to experience that though.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. Just like you're saying, like, you know, we're sitting there and they're playing music and they're jamming out, powwow dancing and whatnot. And I was just sitting there, like, you know, mid picture taken, I kind of just sat there and looked around for a second. I was like, dang, this is really cool. Like I had like really great feeling about like where I was, you know. I was like, dang, this is like one of the coolest moments of my life, because I'd never seen that much, you know,
Yeah.
natives in one spot at one time. But I just take a look around. I was like, oh, it's such a good feeling.
And like for me, like the interesting part, it's not like a powwow. Like it is, you know, like sort of like a powwow.
It's
I mean, they
cultural.
have, they
It's-
have music and everything.
You know?
it's just
Yeah.
becomes
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
But
mass
like
gathering.
powwow really is like it's natives with natives, you know. But what's interesting
Mhm.
about the Indian market is like Anglo people want to be there,
Like,
you know, and they want to experience the culture. And like it's like while we feel like we're in the majority, there's a lot of different people there, and they're all just
Yeah.
interested in the culture, you know. So I think that's what's cool about it, is it's an opportunity to like share that with other people, you know. And
Well,
you
like,
see it too, you know. You see it when you're up there.
I've met like people from Germany and like people from France and everything, and they've like come across and they'd be like, hey, we have like tribal people too. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And they like explain it. And I'm like, yo, that's really cool. You know, being able to meet those kinds of people. And then like, I mean, to meet somebody who completely speaks a different language than you, and yet them being flabbergasted when they're like, wait, you don't live in teepees? You don't, you know? And I'm like, no, not all
Yeah.
of us live in teepees. Not all of us live in pueblos. You know, we're all intermixed and everything, you know, something like that. And, you know, for them to be like, wow, this is so cool to meet Native Americans in a setting like that. I mean, it's fun. And then to also have people who are like, yeah, no. Like we get people from Oklahoma and they'll be like, oh yeah, I know a Soodle out in Oklahoma. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's my auntie, that's my uncle.
And so then it turns into like just, you know, a family reunion
Yeah.
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 I'm kind of amazed at like how many people like you tend to be related to in some way. You
Like,
know,
I bet
like,
if we talked, I bet we would find out like we were like related in like distant ways.
Awesome. Well, hey,
Probably.
do you guys have anything upcoming that you want to put out there with our audience? We're obviously still growing, but you know, I love this idea of like helping each other out, you know, I mean, just giving each other the spotlight, you know? So do you guys have anything upcoming that we can promote for you guys here on the podcast?
Yeah, so I like how everyone's quiet now because I was telling my team, I was like, I don't like revealing anything until it's done.
No,
But no, we will. So we have just some more events coming up, and we're doing a little something for Earth Day. I'm actually going to have each of them head their own project. So Chelsea's going to be heading an Earth Day event. Imani is going to be heading a comedy show, and Imani is my right hand. Like, he handles all the business side of things, and so I really want him to have a little bit of fun and kind of, you know, get the creative juices flowing because he's a creative himself. He's an artist himself. And so he's going to be doing a comedy show next year. And then we have another event that's going to be focused around mental health because that's extremely important with Native communities. So we're going to kind of tailor that towards Native community and towards where, you know, we deal with a lot of grief, unfortunately. So and a lot of other outlets that we could kind of really touch on. So we'll be hosting that next year. And then we have a Juneteenth event next year. And I'll say that much. But then we also want to kind of expand because, you know, our community is very, very important to us as well. So that's our starting point because that's what we know. But, you know, we're hoping to kind of collab in different ways and bring different events to different Native communities just throughout the nation. So that's something that we're going to be working towards as well, is just getting around and, you know, hosting what we can within different communities and finding those needs, but finding those wants as well and being able to kind of deliver those as well. So, you know, we're going to get out there next year.
Awesome.
I actually have one last question for the business owner. Since I'm a business owner, I love to hear other business owners' dreams. So, like, what is your dream for the next 5 years for your company?
Gosh, for the next 5 years, I want this to retire me. But I want it to get so big to where, you know, the creatives themselves are all running it, to where, you know, Chelsea's heading her team and Imani's heading his team, and, you know, Pox is, you know, being a photographer for not just us, but, you know, other celebrities and movies and films and stuff like that. And so realistically, I want to get into a point to where, you know, we're art buying, we have our own event space, we, you know, we're known on a national level, and we're providing job opportunities for those to come in and just do what they love and to do it every day, and, you know, come into work but not feel like they're going into work. So we just want to keep building and keep expanding. So right now we're in events, then we want to get into art buying, then we want to kind of go in from there and just keep building, but allowing, you know, creatives to kind of make those decisions. We're a team. I don't want to feel like I have to make all of the decisions, to where, you know, I don't want to be a dictator. So 5 years from now, I'm hoping that, you know, we have multiple outlets and multiple opportunities and to provide for Native communities. So.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. Where can people find you? What's the Instagram handle?
Go ahead, Chelsea. She lives over there.
It's Indigenous Creatives. That's what it is. Just look it up, and it's probably the first one you'll see. But yeah, that's what we are, at Indigenous Creatives.
Awesome.
And then
that's across the board. So that's Instagram and then indigenouscreatives.com. We just opened TikTok, so we'll see how successful that can get. Kind of learn how to maneuver that, but everything at Indigenous Creatives, Facebook, Instagram, and our website.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for taking time out today. I'm glad we were able to get it set up. I know we had a little trouble, all of us getting together. And like I said, I was having technical issues, so I'm glad it all worked out. I think this was a great chance to talk. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate your time as well.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
biscuits and gravy with the sausage.